Hi guys! Today we're going to be doing Practiceit Java Edition 5, Exercise 4.6, printRange. So, write a method called printRange that accepts two integers as arguments and prints the sequence of numbers between the two arguments, separated by spaces. Print an increasing sequence if the first argument is smaller than the second. Otherwise, print a decreasing sequence. If the two numbers are the same, the number should be printed by itself. Here are some sample calls to printRange. Okay, so let's take a look. So for this sample, the first argument is 2 and the second is 7. Because the first argument is smaller than the second, we have to print an increasing sequence, which is just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then for the second sample, we have 19 as the first argument and 11 as the second. So because 19 is greater than 11, we're going to be doing a decreasing sequence from 19 to 11. And then for the last sample, both arguments are the same, so just as the problem tells us to do, we're going to print the number by itself. So just 5. Okay, so let's start by creating the method. And I'm going to be creating 2 arguments. Okay, and we use void because we're going to be printing our outputs, and printRange is simply the name of the method. Okay, so I'm going to check for the simplest output first, which is if the first and second arguments are the same. So to check that, I'm just going to use an if statement. So if A is equal to B, then what we're going to do is print A, or print B, doesn't matter. And then the next happening that we should consider is when the first argument is bigger than the second. So I'm just going to be using an else if statement. So let's ask, is A greater than B? If it is, then what we're going to do is we have to create the decreasing sequence. And I'm just going to simply use the for loop to do that. So let's do a for loop, int n is equal to A. And we stop when n is greater than or equal to b. And since we're creating a decreasing sequence, we're going to be decreasing the value of n. Okay, and remember, for each time we decrease the value of n, we want to print the value of n first. Okay. And then the very last possible option is if A is less than B. And here I'm just going to be using an else statement because we've already checked for the other possibilities. So I'm going to do the same thing as above in this else if statement. I'm just going to make a for loop and set int n is equal to A, but this time change it so that we stop when n is less than or equal to b. And then this time we're going to be increasing the value of n because, once again, we're making an increasing sequence. Okay, and then remember, for every new n value, we want to print it with a space after. Okay, and then we're good to go.